Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Captain German. Today I would like to introduce you Dustin. It's a very cool man who shows how powerful human being is. So the man who got injuries, he lost his arm and leg in a motorcycle accident, and after that he decided to be a sailor. So I met Dustin in a Grenada, almost full round the world trip. He needs to pass Panama Channel and go straight to Hawaii, where he was born. So let's go to Dustin boat Tiama, and he will explain and he will tell his story to us. So let's go. Hi man! May I get permission to get on board? Okay. Hi guys, I would like to introduce you my friend Dustin.
Hello.
Cheers. Of course we will drink and drive.
And dinghy at least.
And dinghy as well. And boat and dinghy, everything.
Yeah. We are sailors, it's what we do.
Yeah, normally almost every day.
Yeah,
kind of.
Cheers.
Cheers. So, where are you from?
I am born in California. I went to high school and college, some college in Oregon, and then moved to Hawaii in my early 20s.
Ah, okay.
And
So just all your life you spent in Hawaii.
Yeah, so most of my adult life was in Hawaii. So about 10 years in California, 10 years in Oregon, 10 years in Hawaii.
Ah, cool. When did you decide to sail? It is just, we are sailors.
Yeah.
Let's go to the beginning of your life.
So the first time I decided to sail was about 6 years ago.
It was just like idea, or it was a just dream from childhood?
No, I thought about it before because I love diving, and I thought that it would be cool to go dive the most remote places in the world by a sailboat. And so it was always kind of in the back of my head, but I never made any plans to actually do it. And then after my accident...
But the accident, it is the next question.
Okay, so, but really it was because I was financially devastated. I started looking for other things to do with my life and randomly chose sailing.
But when you had an accident, and what had happened?
So this happened October 18th of 2008, and I was hit by a drunk driver. I was on a RC51 motorcycle. I was just on my way home one night, and was on a straightaway, and the drunk just swerved straight at me. It was a big lifted Chevy truck. And so head-on collision, my arm flew about 15 meters from the scene of the accident. And when I woke up on the side of the road, there was nobody there. Like, I became conscious. And
but you could die just easily because just of bleeding.
Could have easily done, yeah. When I came to, the first thing I remember, it was almost like I woke up from a dream. Like I had been in my bed or something. Like just like, oh, what's going on? And I still had my helmet on, and I couldn't figure out why my hand wasn't helping me take my helmet off. I noticed I still feel both arms. There's this thing called phantom limb pain.
Yeah, the phantom pain, yeah.
And so I still feel my left arm as if it was there, and I did then as well. And so it wasn't until I reached over and touched it that I realized that it was gone. And, I could feel my bone and the wet, cold, bloody stump. And I freaked out. I screamed for help, and there was nobody there. The guy who had hit me drove another 600 meters and off into a ditch. And so I sat there for a minute, and I called the paramedics. It's 911 in the U.S. and so I dialed 911, and I even remember just before I called, I thought about it for a second because I knew that I couldn't stand. I knew my arm was gone.
You just were exactly the same position, like just it was after an accident, so you just not even move, I think.
Yeah. So I thought about it. It's like, do I really want to live crippled the rest of my life? And so I didn't think for too long, but I eventually called 911, and they came and picked me up. And
how much time does it take?
They were there 6 minutes after I called.
Very fast.
Very fast. Yeah.
So did you explain them what had happened and just they,
Yeah.
or it is a normal regular time to
Well,
come?
there was a fire department only about a kilometer away. So
Oh, okay. So just because
they were
they're
really
very
close. Yeah, the location really helped on that. And then it was a 20-minute drive to the hospital.
Oh, but you're just already been under the supervision, so that's
Yeah.
more or less okay. So just, at least they could do something, you know.
Yeah, there was almost 2 days where my life was in question. Like, so
Because of bleeding.
yeah, I had a punctured spleen, a punctured lung, I had 4 broken ribs, a broken scapula. I aspirated, which is vomiting into your lungs, which they say is a 50-50 survival rate by itself.
Uh-huh.
And I'd lost most of my blood. When I got to the hospital, they gave me pretty much a complete blood transfusion. They 13 units of blood, and I think your body holds like 15.
Yeah, just you lost almost everything.
Pretty much lost it all, yeah.
Yeah, crazy. But did you decide to sail after the accident?
Yeah, so what happened is it was financially devastating. My own health insurance company ended up suing me for $500,000, 440,000 US. And I obviously didn't have the money, and so I declared bankruptcy and was completely debt-free at that point. And I started trying to go back to work. I had 2 businesses. I had a commercial fishing boat and a carpet cleaning business.
Uh-huh.
But by this point, both of them hadn't really been used in 3 years. So every time I tried to go fishing or clean a carpet, something would break. And I had no money and I had no credit. So like every time I do a job, like all the money would go to fix up the equipment. And I really needed like $20,000.
No big difference. It's just no big gap, you know, just to do it. Ah, okay.
And so I was looking, I was like, you know, this is going to take me at least 10 years to get like ahead again. And so I started looking for something else. I started looking at other jobs, and eventually I found a website called the slocumsociety.com.
Uh-huh.
And it was all people who had set records sailing around the world by themselves. And I was like, well, there's no double amputee on this list, I'll just do that.
So it was just you look on a website, just check information, and it was like an idea, just I want to do it.
Yeah, so I was just like, I was thinking it's like maybe I could just do something big. You know, if I just pick out a big thing to do, it's like I'm just going to go be the first double amputee to sail around the world and try to figure out a way to do it. And so it took me about 2 years to actually find a boat, and then get everything kind of ready. And then I spent 1 month learning to sail, and then left Hawaii.
But did you buy this boat in US or
So
in Hawaii?
This boat I bought in Thailand. My first boat was a 1968 Alberg sloop, and I bought it for $12,000 in Hawaii, and then sailed it from Hawaii to Thailand. And then,
So just all Pacific.
yep.
But South Pacific or just North?
Yeah, I did the South Pacific as well. So I went all the way down to like Fiji and Vanuatu and Solomon Islands, and then I came back up to Papua New Guinea and Australia and Indonesia and around to Thailand.
Okay. So, but is it a second already boat which you are just going, or did you do it just on one boat?
So
around the world.
This is my second boat now. So my first boat, when I got to Thailand, it was in really bad shape. I'd completely run out of money, and the motor wasn't working, the rigging was in bad shape, and I actually left Bali 4 times and got towed back in 3. Like I was planning like a 1,000-mile trip from Bali to Malaysia, and I couldn't get more than 5 miles. I'd get out of the harbor
and return back.
And then,
sometimes it could be like this one.
Yeah, and then I got towed back in. So once it was the motor seized, once the transmission gave up, and another time the forestay came down.
Forestay is a good experience.
Yeah.
I think the best one, you know, and you're like,
that was a scary one. 'Cause
Yes.
with the motor and transmission, I always thought at least I could sail. Like,
yeah, at least you can move.
Yeah, but when the forestay came down and the motor still didn't work, I was like, oh, well, that'd be really screwed.
Excuse me, Pan.
Yeah, exactly.
Could you please tow me in back?
So. No, it was always fun getting towed back in, and like especially like after like the 3rd going away party, people were less enthusiastic. They're like, "Oh, he's gonna be back."
Welcome back, man. So you start in Hawaii, and after you just cross all Pacific, South Pacific, and get to Asia.
Yep.
Like probably Indonesia, yeah.
Yeah, Indonesia and Thailand.
Thailand. In Thailand, you changed your boat.
Yep. So in Thailand, my boat it was leaking through the rudder, so I had to haul out the boat.
Oh, it's okay.
And
Not so bad.
and so I hauled it out, and at that point I was actually on the verge of quitting. I didn't really know what to do because I didn't even have enough money for the haul out at the time. And my girlfriend at the time told me to start a GoFundMe or do a crowdfunding. And I did. And so I started the GoFundMe, and I raised like $15,000 in about a week.
Oh, okay.
And all of a sudden,
is it work good?
yeah. And so all of a sudden, I was like, okay, I could start sailing again. I have enough money to fix up the boat. And then somebody told me, they said, you know, it's like you could put $20,000 into the boat that you have, but it's still a $10,000 boat. He said the boat right next to it, the owner's
just to sell
really
it,
keen to sell. He says if you sell your boat for cheap, you could probably pick up this one on a really good deal. And that's what I did.
I did it clever, yeah. Maybe it was a good idea.
It was perfect too, and this one was actually right next to mine on the hard stand, so it was almost like fate. I could actually hand stuff over from my old boat to this one.
Throw it from one to another one and just put down another one. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it was really convenient. So,
It's a little bit crazy, but anyway, it's convenient.
Yeah.
But after that, from Thailand, what was next?
So Thailand, I went to the Andaman Islands, which was amazing.
I never been, but now they just make the procedure to get in more easy.
The procedure was a nightmare.
In India, everything related to India is nightmare.
It was 70 pages of paperwork for me, and if you have crew, there's an additional 12 pages for every crew member.
Cool.
So you actually like.
What is the surname of your grandma?
Yeah, most of it was copies, you know. So there's maybe 12 forms and then 5 or 6 copies of each form, but yeah.
Now I know they make the procedure much easier. So it isn't just you should not send all the documents to India or somewhere. So it is just like something more easy. I heard it from that information from last year.
Yeah, I would love to go back. So
I never been. Nice. Maybe it is a good idea.
It is. Yeah, the diving off of the outer islands is some of the best I've ever seen.
Oh really?
Yeah, there's one of the islands, Narcandam. Like even like the map in the office for the like the cruising permit office. There was a big map of the Andaman Islands, and the key was over Narcandam Island. So the island wasn't even on their map of the Andaman Islands.
We have some islands, but it's not exact.
Yeah, but that island, there was nobody on it, and it was stunning. There was so many fish and great diving and
just wild.
Lots of
natural,
corals.
like it should be. Yeah.
And so it was one of the highlights of my trip, even.
And after that, you get to Gaul.
Gaul, yeah. And so that was interesting. The Gaul Harbor was really tough.
It is
I really don't recommend it, but I love Sri Lanka and I love the Sri Lankan people. But the Gaul Harbor wasn't my favorite.
And Trincomalee, it is the same bullshit.
And so yeah, they basically are trying to rip you off every time you come into the all the guards are trying to get money from you.
Give me money. You've got a rabbit. You got some. I know, veggies.
Yeah.
Pay me tax.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, Gaul wasn't my favorite.
And after you went to
Chagos.
Chagos.
Yeah.
You stop in Chagos. It's like I know it's a military base.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're not allowed to go to the military base. There's 2 atolls you could go to, and both of them are uninhabited.
Yeah.
And so
there's just also wild.
Yeah.
You don't like people, yeah?
No, I prefer to go places with no people. Okay. I like the diving and the wildlife, so...
Not in a rubbish bin, you know?
I do like the people as well, but yeah, it's interesting going places where there's no people. And
and after? Probably South Africa?
Madagascar.
Madagascar.
And that was a place I loved the people.
But inside or outside?
I went around the northern tip and then down the west coast of Madagascar.
Oh, okay,
It's fantastic. It's absolutely beautiful. The people are amazing. The lemurs are great. They're really funny creatures that jump right on you, and they're really neat. And then the diving was really good there too. So.
But what about the south part of Madagascar? Because I know it is a quite rough weather over there because it is the start of some cyclones.
Yeah, the trip from Madagascar to Mozambique is a tough one. So it took in the season I went, there was 20-something other boats that were going the same time as me, and we're all waiting for weather. And the weather windows to get from one to the next island without getting smashed were short.
So it is just very narrow area or time when you can go.
Yeah, and they were spread far enough apart that the boats were bulking up, because the people were running out of their visas and stuff, waiting for good weather, and it just wasn't coming. And so, I overstayed in Madagascar by maybe a week, waiting for weather.
We stayed in Kenya and we're waiting for good weather for 1 month.
Oh, yeah.
It was totally no wind, and after it was
40
just
knots.
even more, because we passed from Kenya to Socotra, 1,500 miles for 8 days.
Wow.
So it just
That's
was like
moving, yeah.
flying.
Yeah, that current's nice when you hit it.
Yes, yeah, everything is fast, but anyway, however, the huge waves.
Yeah, that's true.
They're quite scary.
Yep.
Strong wind. On a
Yeah.
third reef, and you just all the time think maybe just to put a storm sail, but no, maybe not now, maybe next 15 minutes, and you're all the time like this.
It's always hard to put the storm sail up. You're just like, yeah, you're always thinking, oh, it's gonna calm down. It's gonna calm down.
Like, oh fuck, too late.
Yeah, it's like looking like I don't want to go out there. It's all wet and cold. It just doesn't look like fun at all. I'm gonna go down below.
Yeah, just because it's too scary to
Just
be
gonna
outside.
shut everything
Like,
up and go downstairs. Yeah.
Put the duct tape
The
on eye
little
and just
sleeping mask.
Yeah, sleeping mask.
Yeah, that's just my solution for that.
I'm too scary, I go sleeping.
Yeah, exactly.
And so after you just, what's the African coast? I know it is safe. This area is safe.
There's actually a really good weather router down there. His name's Des Kaysen, and he does weather routing for free. And he actually, like, I have a.
He's from South Africa.
Yeah, he's a South African, and he's actually made this trip himself like 30 times to Madagascar and back. And so he knows all the hiding spots, and he also knows all the nuances in the weather. So a lot of times you look at a weather map and there's different local effects that don't show up on our weather forecasting.
Yeah, and like for example, like a cape or something like this, or something weird. You know, you even not download this.
Exactly.
This data.
And he'll look at it and it'll look fine to me, and then he's like, you know, when it's like this, you get this one weird effect, and it's gonna be blowing 50 and have, you know, 10-meter seas, you know, and it's like, okay, well maybe I'll wait until tomorrow or something.
No, it is very helpful.
Yeah,
it is very cool.
So that was really amazing. So I really easily got around the South Africa coast and all the way around the Cape of Good Hope, and like I even motored around the Cape of Good Hope and it was totally flat. And so
Okay.
I almost feel like I didn't do it, but luckily I joined a boat going to Antarctica this year, and so I flew to Chile from South Africa, and then went to Antarctica and back, and then went around the Cape Horn. And so, but when I went around Cape Horn, it was blowing 50 knots, so at least I got one of the capes with a little bit of weather under it.
And you did like, okay, I'm going to Caribbean.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was like, all right.
Not with you, bye-bye, loser, so...
Yeah, it's cold down here.
Yeah, it's too cold, yeah. It's a penguin, I hate penguins, just go straight up.
Exactly.
And after South Africa, you just St. Helena and just like regular way to Caribbean.
Yeah, pretty much. The only thing different is I stopped in Ascension. A lot of the sailors don't do that, which I thought it was amazing. Like it, you know, it wasn't too rolly and it wasn't too difficult getting to shore.
Oh, nice.
And then
is it wild? Or
it's mostly wild. There's 2 military bases
and that's it?
But there's no soldiers even. Like, so there's a U.S. and British military base, and they're being kept up. They have like employees keeping it up, but there's no actual troops or anything there.
Okay, it's just somebody like technical stuff which is taking about the equipment in the city.
Yeah, and there's a lot of tracking equipment there. So they have equipment for tracking the space debris. So that's where the NASA tracking equipment is for the space debris.
Yeah, because it's very easy to lose it, just satellite or something. If nobody cares about it. We need somebody in this house. Yeah. Is it any satellite over there? Oh, we don't know. Too late.
So it was cool for that. There's some cool history, and again, great diving, great fishing.
Yeah, okay. So do you dive all the time? Mm-hmm. Do you have equipment with you?
Yep. I have my own equipment on board. I don't have a compressor, but usually there's other boats that usually have compressors around. So I've been able to fill my tanks most of the time.
Okay, well, my tanks also filled, but I'm just to use it. Yeah. Quite clever, because just in case if I have something. Yeah, my body, I just need to dive to do something. Just
I always make sure I have a full tank on board in case I need to free the anchor or something.
Yeah. You need all the time to do something.
Yeah, so it's luckily I haven't had to do that yet, but so far I've always been able to get the anchor up without diving it. But I still worry that someday I'll need to go down there and sort something out.
So in here in Caribbean, how much time are you going to spend?
I think about a year.
About a
Yeah, so the same season for sailing to Hawaii is the season for sailing around the Caribbean.
Yeah, because it's north part, north of from Ecuador. Yeah, it's the same.
So if I wanted to go to Hawaii this year, I'd go through the Panama Canal now and then go to Hawaii in like November, December. But I'd rather do the whole year in the Caribbean and then go through the Panama Canal next year and then go back home.
But do you know that Panama will increase the prices?
I have heard that, but I'm gonna have to figure out a way to make some extra money.
Yeah, but it is quite valuable because they want to increase 100%.
Yeah, I saw that.
Bastards.
Cheers to the bastards.
Not to see bastards in your life, you know.
I want to charge it 100% more. I mean, I got to figure out something to charge for, but
yeah, but anyway, it is just quite painful.
Yeah,
you know?
it is.
And so, just what do you need to do to? What do you need to do to finish your lap? You know, to finish your. So just cross Panama Canal, and. Small trip on the north.
Yeah, so from Panama Canal to Hawaii is 4,000 miles.
Yeah, I know, but
but I haven't decided yet. I'll either go back to Mexico or go to Mexico. I've been there before, but not with the boat.
That was my question. Yeah, what are you going to do?
So I'll either go to Mexico and then from Mexico to Hawaii, which is a tough trip up that coast, you know, because the wind kind of comes from the northeast.
Yeah.
And so
the upwind, or
yeah, it's upwind the whole way. And then so what most people do is they wait for lulls in the wind and motor, and or I'll go to French Polynesia. And
yes, that's
French
what
Polynesia
I think.
Hawaii.
Just to go, for example, on Hivaoa, and from Hivaoa just go straight to Hawaii.
And I think that's more likely what I'll do because I've never been to French Polynesia, so
it is very beautiful. Yeah, I'll give you contact. Some people in Galapagos, so you can easily go there, and after to Marquesas, and from Marquesas straight to Hawaii.
Sounds great. I think that'll likely be what I end up doing.
And I think the question which many people ask you, how it's difficult to sail, because you just only single-handed.
Yeah, it's kind of a tough question because I actually have never sailed with two hands before. So I don't know what's more difficult. I use my teeth a lot, so but the sailing part's really not that tough. What's tough is when something goes wrong, you know. If something,
yes, exactly. If you need to fix something on the mast, or
so something wraps up, or something gets tangled, or a line breaks, or whatever it is, like trying to fix these things with one hand. And even like the wind vane broke on me quite a few times in the Pacific, and you know, you're hanging off the back of the boat and then the water's coming up over your head, and trying to fix something in the water with one hand is it's quite difficult.
You know, if something happened on your mast, if you have it two hands, it's just not really help you. Because you just cannot get on a storm condition on the mast and do something. It's the same. No big difference in this one. So if you're trouble, you're in trouble.
Yeah,
anyway,
that's true. And
just try to survive.
Yeah. And I've heard sailors say a lot that, you know, all sailors sail one-handed because they want one hand for the boat and one hand for their job, and I just don't hang on.
They're doing it like in one hand, they just beer and another one steer.
That's right.
You are more multitasking. You just need to put it in just steer and drink. Yes.
You get pockets.
Yeah, proper equipment.
Exactly.
Steer.
I tried having cup holders on the boat, but they always stuck out somewhere and run into them. And so
it's like hedonism, you know.
Yeah, so I ended up taking them all off.
Porsche life, you know, just everywhere. Put like cradles for beer, you know, everywhere.
Exactly.
Can you show your foot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here, let me put a leg on here.
Let's do it.
So,
let's go.
All right, this is Tiama. So
Tiama.
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 Yeah.
What does it mean?
It means freedom in Polynesian, I'm told, but I didn't name it, and the previous owner of the boat did. But I haven't been able to verify that anywhere, so I'm not positive that's what it means.
You will find it in in the French Polynesia. So what is the brand of this boat?
So this is a Bristol 35.5C, and it's a 1983. The C stands for centerboard, so it helps that it's shallow, like I could actually get into really shallow areas.
So it's like a shred boat, you know, you can get to the beach.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just park right on the beaches and stuff.
It is a cozy inside. So, but
so generally, this is where
it's American.
At sea. Yep, it's an American boat. So usually I'm right here because I could hear the AIS alarm, like on my Garmin and whatever. So if there's any alarms for boats nearby, I could hear that if I'm sitting right here, and then it's also quick for me to jump upstairs and do something.
Do you often sit in a chart table?
I never sit in the chart table.
Do you use paper charts?
I don't use paper charts.
I agree.
Yep.
So if you're doing a different tack, you can use this.
Yeah, so different tacks, and both of these fold out actually. So I don't fold this one out because it blocks the bathroom door.
Ah, okay.
So this one I fold out though. So yeah, it comes out to here.
Oh, okay.
And so when I'm on this tack, I'll sleep on this side, or if I'm going downwind, I sleep on this side because it's a nice big area.
Yeah, okay.
So it's only if I'm on an upwind tack that I actually sleep on this side.
This was a table, yeah?
Yep, so this folds down. This is actually a really nice table.
Uh-huh. But it's quite big, you know, it's for...
Yeah, it takes up this whole area.
Yeah.
You could easily like have 6 people in here for dinner and it'd actually be pretty comfortable. This sign I got as I was 19 years old actually. So this is like one of the things that I've actually kept for a while. So ladies, you've been warned. This one is one of my favorite things too. So this was actually...
As a captain sign.
Yeah, so that's off a World War II Navy vessel. And the vessel actually saw action in World War II, and a friend of mine's dad was a steward to the captain. And so he gave my friend that, and since he didn't have a boat, he gave it to me to take around the world. So
it means this cabin is a captain cabin.
This is the captain's cabin. And it's a big mess because I'm doing my laundry, so that's...
Okay. But it's quite big area.
Yeah.
It is quite big room.
It's pretty comfortable.
Yeah. And on the side, angles, like you can sleep on the side of your boat.
Yeah, you could. I don't really sleep up there at sea because when it's bouncing,
yeah, it's too much.
It's too much.
We are
up
doing
there.
the storage compartment from cabin.
Here's the head. Nothing too exciting in there, so it's it's still pretty comfortable. Like it's pretty big and nice.
Yeah, and this is good for. Yeah, you can
hanging on and when the boat's sideways, you get your feet up on the walls and stuff.
Yeah, walking in the wall.
Exactly. So here's the fruit hammock. I actually had a funny story. When I first put one of these up, it was on my trip in the Pacific, and one of these lines broke, and the fruit thing started swinging, and it was slinging apples at me the whole time. So I'm laying in bed, and all of a sudden just get pelted with apples. So now I tie these up better.
Okay. So do you have two cabins, a front cabin and like a master cabin?
No, that's pretty much it. This is supposed to be a sleeping area here.
Oh, it is just like a...
But so that's just sail storage. So that's all my extra sails are up there.
How many sails do you have?
I have the main and Genoa that are on there now. I have a storm trysail, a storm jib.
But storm trysail you never use?
I never use a storm trysail. I've used a storm jib a couple of times.
Yeah.
I have a working jib for like 25 to 30 knots that I'll put up that hanks on. And then I have 2 other Genoas.
And how many reefs do you have on the main?
I have 3 reefs in the main.
Okay.
And one of them's not deep enough. I wish the 3rd reef was deeper. It's still too much at 35 knots. I'd like to be able to still sail at 35 knots, but that reef, it's overpowering.
It is all the time some gap you cannot cover. It is or too much or not enough.
Yeah, exactly. So.
And this is a kitchen.
Yep, so this is the kitchen area. Nice deep sinks. I really like this because you get lots of dishes in there. This is a nice 3-burner stove. The oven...
Working on propane?
Yep. The oven is ridiculously difficult to start. And the previous owner of the boat actually knew that I had, like, not the person I bought it from, but the person before that. I emailed him and asked him how to start the oven. He's like, well, I don't think this is going to suit you, because he knew I had one hand.
Yeah,
because you have to hold that little red button here.
Ah, okay.
And then you open this, and down at the bottom there's a thing. You got to hold the flame on it. And you have to do this for about 30 seconds. And it's really a pain in the butt, and so the oven doesn't really get used too much.
Sometimes we are using it when we just in a long way. It is just the easiest just to put everything inside, switch it on, and forget for like 1 hour, switch it off, and that's it.
That sounds great.
Yeah. So what is here? It is just all equipment.
Yep, that's all the electrical panel. And everything works, which is nice. Like the boat, it was a good functioning boat. There's not really any
So
Any problems?
is it fully maintained? Yeah,
Fully
everything's
maintained,
working
yeah.
well.
So after being on it for 2 years, I've sorted out most of the nuances. I am actually getting the fridge fixed tomorrow, so.
So you already arranged appointment?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Ah, okay, cool.
So that's gonna get sorted tomorrow and the next day, and hopefully, yeah, my main list is taken care of. Now the rest is just tidying up and maybe doing some cosmetic work.
You can use mine for calling a beer.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So go outside. But this steering wheel is not with a chain. It is a like kind of shaft inside, yeah?
No, there's a cable.
The cables.
Yeah.
Ah, so it is a small chain and cables inside also.
Yep.
Ah, okay.
And then
It's going straight to rudder or
no.
just...
So there's a quadrant down below
Uh-huh.
that goes to here. I actually could open this. So the quadrant steers here, and this is also where my emergency tiller goes. So I could open this thing and use the emergency tiller to this and steer with the emergency tiller.
Which autopilot do you have? So I see
So-
you have a Ray Marine, but it's a just angle mirror.
Yeah, so it's been acting up lately, so I'm not sure what's going on, but it's kind of driving like Stevie Wonder at the moment. It just goes this way. It's not really
Okay.
holding a course too well. But this thing works pretty well. So this is a wind vane.
Yes, and it's going straight to your steering wheel.
Yep,
It is a
so
for a wind
I
vane.
have the blocks here
Uh-huh.
and there, and then I'll clip here, and then from here the lines will go to this.
Yes. And do you use a external rudder for a wind vane?
No. This is a servo pendulum design, they call it. So this rudder, all it does is it pulls a line that actually pulls to the steering wheel.
But it's like
This is
emergency
the main
rudder. It's like a second one. You can use it just in case of something.
I'm not sure if it's big enough, but I would give it a try if it
Yeah,
ever
for
came
sure.
down
I think
to it.
you can use it because if you use a wind vane without the cables, which is going to steering wheel, you can just use it with a personal rudder.
You'd have to lock it in place.
Yes,
Yeah.
you have to.
And,
But anyway.
But yeah, it would probably be possible. So-
Okay, can you show me your deck? So, show me your deck. You have a pool, so do you use a spinnaker?
I pull out the head sail with it.
Ah, okay. So I'm using it the same also for just for Genoa.
Yeah, so the spinnaker pole, it actually broke again. It's supposed to be telescoping, and there's twice now that I've had to repair it.
Okay, yeah. I have just only one, not telescopic. So, but do you need to go for making this?
Yeah, so people ask me a lot if the boat's modified for disability. The only two things I've done to this boat to modify it is this self-tailing winch here that I got off a sunken boat, and I rebuilt it, and here it is. So I actually got this for free, which was really nice. And there's another one. Let's see it. Right here.
Ah, yeah, I see.
So that one too, because before when I had to reef, I have to put this line, wrap it around here, put it in my teeth, and then crank it and use my teeth to like
because it
sail
is
the
an
winch.
it's just because it is a no look on it.
And
Yeah.
Same with this. So before, when I pull the head sail or the mainsail, I'd put the line between my teeth and crank it to get the sail up. And you know, I did that from Hawaii all the way to Thailand, or all the way to South Africa actually, where I got this. So that's I think there's going to be less wear and tear on my reefing lines now that I don't use my teeth on them.
Oh, you're using teeth to doing it is quite dangerous stuff.
Yeah.
But you have all teeth with you,
Yeah,
so
it's still there.
it's still there.
And,
just because you did not make any mistake.
That's right. And with this, like reefing with your teeth is really tough because when you're reefing, the bang, going bang, bang.
Yes,
bang,
it is
bang,
just
and-
all the time moving all around. You know, you need to just be very strong.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but how it's difficult to you to walk on a deck because the boat is moving.
I'm pretty used to it, to be honest. So I have a leg that I use sometimes on deck, which it actually does a little bit better. It's not tricky because this foot, you know, I can't angle it. So when I walk, it does stuff like this. Like with this foot, you just point it and you go by.
Yes. You just can, you know, grip something.
Right, and so with these feet, they don't. I mean, they're just like hooking everything as you go by, and So the peg leg works pretty good, but I actually lost it the first day that I got here. So
Okay.
I went for a swim and it fell off, and I'm like, oh shit.
Just lost it.
Yeah.
You need new one.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I think a new one should be coming hopefully soon. So.
Yeah. So let's go. So let's continue drink.
All right, yeah, the beers are almost done, so I think there's time for more.
So I know that you have your Instagram and YouTube, or not?
Yep. I have all that stuff. There's actually links on my website. So I have a website with links to my crowdfunding and social media. And it's thesinglehandedsailor.com.
So everything will be just in the description, and you can see it right now. It is a website and everything linked too.
Yep.
Okay, it's cool. So anyway, we will be sail the same area quite long time, you know.
Yeah.
so
we might have a few more beers over time.
every time, yeah.
All right. So na zdrowie, yeah.
Na zdrowie. Okay, guys. Thank you. Please subscribe to mine YouTube channel, probably, and
Mine too. I'm not that active on it, but it's a good idea. Maybe there'll be something cool someday on there.
Yeah. We will make some cool project as well in the
Okay.
future. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Sounds great.
Yeah. So subscribe and to YouTube channel, put like, and see you soon. Bye bye.
Aloha.
Aloha.
I say give subtle hints when people are getting on my nerves, like throwing them overboard. Yeah, the first one. Not perfect. When scroll through it. I don't know, it's the first time it's happened. I think it's because I tied them up, like I tied those fruit hammocks up to the rail for the bookshelf. I think that pulled the rail out, so all the books went.